What is going on, everyone? Henry Kaminski, the brand doctor, here with another awesome case study video for you guys. Today, I have another Brand Accelerator graduate. I'm super excited to introduce you guys to Ryan and Madison of the new all-inclusive, ready to rock and roll Fit Queen brand. What is going on, guys?
Hey, Henry.
Hey, Henry. How you doing, brother?
I got to tell you guys were one of my favorite clients of all time for this number one reason. The energy you brought to this project truly inspired not only me, but my entire team. And
Yeah.
I feel like this project and this brand development went so well, not only because of us, but because of you guys, just the energy you brought to
Agreed.
just the entire project. So I just wanted to share that with you. So
Thank you.
my first question to you guys is this: what was the main issue that you guys were facing prior to coming to me when you guys were initially creating this brand from scratch?
Yeah, so it was from scratch. We had no existing business. So we had this passion, we had this idea, but we had no idea how to present it to the people we wanted. And then if we could figure that out, we didn't even know how to get it in front of the right people. So we were looking for kind of how to present this in a nice little package so people actually responded and we could actually help people and reach the people we want, because we can be as amazing as we want and have this awesome product and have awesome energy, but if we can't get it to people and if they don't receive it well, then our efforts aren't going to be going anywhere. Really.
Exactly. I think to give you backstory, we already own a fitness facility, and the new brand is an online weight loss business for women, and Madison's the forefront of it. She's been through a weight loss journey. She's lost 72 pounds. So we know exactly what we're talking about. We know how to reach our audience and connect with them, but we wanted to make sure that it was in a professional way, to make sure that we could gain their trust, and to make sure that we could, at the end of the day, just do it in the right way that resonates with them. We just don't want to be a one and done. And I think that was a problem, right? We see a lot, especially with fitness, like, it's not working anymore, bye. We want to make sure that we're working with somebody for a long period of time. So we knew we needed to have a brand.
Yeah.
Got it. And why was that so important to you guys to begin with?
We created Fit Queen from my own experience. Like Ryan said, I lost 72 pounds in 6 months. And my lowest point before creating Fit Queen, I was over 200 pounds. And my mental state, I wasn't happy. I wasn't healthy. I felt lost. I felt defeated, hopeless. And we never, from that feeling, and Ryan seeing me go through that, we never wanted another woman to ever have to feel that way again. But we didn't know how to reach them. And the pain that I felt and the pain that I know so many other women feel out there, we can help, we can fix, but we just needed the opportunity to, and you gave us the opportunity to. This program gave us direction, it gave us clarity, it gave us like the step-by-step on how to actually present yourself. Because I feel like a lot of entrepreneurs have a struggle with that.
Yeah,
we got great ideas. We're all about go, 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 but we lack actually strategic execution.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of young entrepreneurs, like young in terms of just being in the game, they lack professionalism, right? And sometimes that's what clients want: professionalism, to be able to do things properly, and at the beginning maybe, and then as they understand the process, then they want to really connect with the brand on the friendship level. But at first, sometimes you really need to connect with people professionally, and that's what we wanted to do, like come across professionally and say, we know where you're coming from, we know what you're suffering, what we're going through, and this is our brand, this is what we're here to do, and Madison can help you solve your problem.
Yeah, we wanted to come out of the gates swinging, like running. We wanted to come out fast and strong with everything all ready to go. We didn't want to have to backtrack once we launched the business. So we needed it all tied up, all ready to go, so we can just come out of the gates real quick.
Yes.
Yeah.
I love it. I love it. Well, I have to tell you, you know, I've spent quite a bit of time with you guys. It's
Yep.
probably close to over 75 hours at least. You know, I was looking at my time doctor the other day and I was like, that's the software that we use to track time on everything. And when I was looking at how much time spent and how much time we spent on our strategy calls and all of that, I was like, wow, spent quite a bit of time. And as I thought about that, I said, I actually saw quite a maturity come out of the both of you. Like I saw Ryan up front being very go, 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 go. We got to get this done. We got to get this done. And then right before we launched, I saw this more, okay, Rome wasn't built in a day. We need to slow down to speed up. I
Yep.
know this is going to work. I know this is the right way. I was telling him in a text message, I was like, we are first and goal on the 1 yard line.
Yeah.
We don't want to fumble here,
No.
right? We do not want to
Exactly.
fumble and turn over the
No.
ball.
No.
And he said, dude, I needed to hear that. And so I just wanted to tell you guys that I saw a huge maturity shift over the past couple of months just working with you. And I want you guys to really understand that, because that's going to help you tremendously later on as you continue to grow and build this brand. So, you know, how's life changed since going through the Brand Accelerator program? Because, you know, in the beginning, you jump on a call with me, and there's 1,000 people doing what I'm doing. So there could be a level of skepticism there. And, you know, I have to tell you, you guys asked some really great questions way in the beginning on our first call before you even committed to this program. So what changed? How did life change after you went through the Brand Accelerator program?
Absolutely. Well, first off, I want to say that going through the program, it just made life so much easier. It made everything so less overwhelming.
Yes.
And it really allowed us to focus on what we're good at, and everything else you can take over. So then we both team up and complement each other instead of trying to backtrack on things that we weren't good at or knew nothing about. So the program itself really gave us a direction, a launching direction. It just brought so much clarity to what we needed to do, and it was just very eye-opening. A lot of things I didn't even know we were missing. I didn't realize would have such a big impact. We touched on very cool stuff that I will use and Ryan will use and we will use forever.
Yes.
In whatever we do. We learned a lot of cool skills, a lot of cool exercises we did together. Very, very helpful.
I think I'm very business oriented, and I think the biggest thing for me was that I want to be hands off, right? I want to make sure you understand my vision. I want to make sure you understand our goals, and I want to make sure you execute it. Done. That's it. If you can do that, hands off, done. You do it. I'll give you the resources. Boom. I think that's what I was looking for, right? Somebody who's professional, listening to what we needed, what we wanted, right? Not only in terms of connection and being able to help our audience, but financial goals. At the end of the day, you know, you're in business to try to connect with people, and we want to make sure that we reach more people. And so I wanted to make sure that we chose the right person that would execute our vision with us being hands off. We already run and operated a fitness facility, so that takes up 99% of our energy, right? And so we're trying to connect with more people around the world, and we understood we need to grow a team, right? And so I can't micromanage each step, because if I know, I'll miss some steps.
Yeah.
Well said. Well said. Well said. So what were some of the benefits in particular of the Brand Accelerator program that you guys really walked away with and said, wow, this one's going to be a keeper?
I think for me, one of the really cool things was, as an entrepreneur, we tend to look over the details. So you really broke things down. And so much so, even like thinking, like reverse engineering who your client is, like actually who your client is. So reverse engineering from your target client, and everything comes from that. Everything comes from that. And that's something we overlook. We just think that either this person will obviously buy because it's obviously made for them, but we don't reverse engineer the process, or we think everybody will buy, when in particular we got to
Really hone in on
really hone it down. So like things like developing, like, who is your client? What are they looking for? What habits do they have? Like things you don't ever think about. You're like, here's my product. I'm just going to release it and everybody's going to love it. Well, no, that's not true. If it's not in front of the right people, no one's going to buy. No one's going to buy. And then you're going to flop and your business does poorly and you don't get to help people like we're trying to.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. You literally, you gave us what we needed to help people.
That's awesome. What was the question again?
What were some of the benefits that you received through the Brand Accelerator program where after our call, you and Madison sort of did a review, a reevaluation of that particular session? It was like,
I just got so wrapped up in her answer. It was a good one. Honestly, like for any entrepreneur or any business owner, I think what you want to do is you want to have control of everything, or you want to oversee everything, right? And I think that's a big downfall, to be honest, right? I think there's so many people out there that are better than you, including you, Henry, at designing a brand. And so why would I take control of this when I have nothing to do with it, right? It doesn't make sense, right? What I want isn't what my customer wants, right? I understand their needs, I understand their demands, their pain points, and it just made it easy. Right, you made it easy in the sense like, okay, I'm good at this, perfect. I'm gonna stay good at what I'm doing. You stay good at what you're doing. I'm gonna keep delegating out. If I were to do this whole process myself, which we were doing before, it would take a lot longer. There would be a lot more pain points, right? And there would be a lot more friction. And I think that's the same idea with weight loss, what we did, right? If you try to do it yourself, it'll be a lot more friction, a lot more time, a lot more pain points, right? And we streamline the process just like you streamline the process for branding.
Yeah, saving our time was huge. Saving our time, because we know time is money. So by saving us time, we save ton of money. Yeah. We all like to look at the upfront cost of everything, right? We all like to look at, it costs this or it costs this. That doesn't mean anything at the end of the day, right? It doesn't mean anything, because if I put, let's say, $1,000, it's going to make me $1 million. So why am I thinking about that upfront cost? That upfront cost. We as entrepreneurs and business owners, sometimes we're short-sighted, right? And it's fantastic that we have an individual like yourself, or have an individual like Madison. Like, it's just so important to have running mates, and you're a running mate when it comes to developing a brand. Yeah.
Right. That's awesome. That's awesome.
On brand too. You want to be consistent, which is something we definitely have trouble with. A lot of people have trouble with.
Everybody
being
does.
Consistent through everything. But if you want to build a powerful business, it has to be recognizable and it has to be consistent.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. That's what customers want. They want consistency. That's, at the end of the day, they want consistency, communication, ease of use, all that fun stuff.
And that's going to build a tremendous amount of trust. And I think you guys are really nailing that down to the ground pretty well. So that's a phenomenal answer to the question. Now, my next question is, what would you say to somebody who's on the fence about investing in the Brand Accelerator program? Because it's not a cheap investment. Okay. It's definitely up there in price, and it's not for everybody's, but I know that there's tons of people out there that visit my site on a daily basis. I can see them because I know I have the software to track who visits my site, and I see the same people coming over and over and over again. So they may be on the fence of getting into this program. And so what would you tell them if they came to you and said, I've been checking out this program for a while now, and I'm not sure.
I think in our business and everything that we do, we try not to look at it as, how can I sell this person? It's, how can I help this person? And that's exactly where you were coming from, and the energy that we felt. If you want to help someone, if you have a vision, if you have this mission, you need a place to channel all that energy. And what better place than someone who's actually trying to help you? Like, this is not coming from a point of, I want this revenue. I actually want to help you build a brand, build your baby. Like, you're building our baby for us. And it's not something you take lightly. It's not something that is done overnight. It's is a lot of intricacies, and you have everything all laid out step by step, super detailed, so it's easy, it's comprehensive. And when you launch something or when you're relaunching something, it needs to come strong. It needs to be released strong. And you don't want to have to come back to it and redo it, or have your clients see something that's not strong and not truly representative of what you're going to help with. And you helped us, and this program helped us represent us in the best way we knew how, in a way we didn't even knew we had.
Yeah.
Wow, that's powerful. That's really powerful.
I would say honestly the opposite of Madison. I would say if you're on the fence of the program, don't do it. You're not ready, right? You're not ready. If you're not ready to change your life, if you're not ready to take things to the next level, if you're not ready to be uncomfortable, right? Because that's an essential part of the process for growing, making the impact you want, having the money that you want. Don't do it, right? Because the money, I apologize. Still at work.
It's all right.
Never stops.
Yeah. And to me, it never stops. To make the impact that you want, if you're on the edge about everything in life, you'll never get anywhere. The same idea with our clientele. If you're not ready to lose the weight, at the end of the day, I can't sell you. I'm not going to sell you. We've done it. We've been doing it. Madison's lost 72 pounds, 202 pounds plus. She ran a gym, right? So she resonates with these people, right? Our phone's ringing up the hook.
They want to join.
That's energy right there.
Yeah.
That's energy right there.
Yeah. And so with that being said, right, you have to be ready. If you want to take things to the next level, if you want to be successful, if you want to evolve, you've got to get off the fence.
Yeah, and you can't do it yourself.
And 99% of people aren't ready to get off the fence. Are you that 1% ready to lose the weight? Are you that 1% ready to take your brand to the next level? Okay, are you ready to do that? Okay, are you ready to do that? It's so important. It's so important. I apologize.
It's all good. It's all good. I was not ready for that answer, but that's an excellent one. That's an excellent one, because if you're not ready, then just don't do it. I mean, just play it safe and do something else, because that's the last thing I want to do is work with somebody who's sort of skitsy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We've had so many clientele, right? We work on a lot of we're a high-end business as well, and when we sell people that are on the edge, most of the time they're headaches, because they're trying to convince themselves, well, maybe this is it, and then halfway through we just end up refunding them, right? You want to be able to work with somebody and connect with them, right? At the end of the day, right? You know it already. You have a limited amount of clients that come to you, right? And so if you're on the edge, you're never going to go anywhere with your business. You may grow by 10% a year, maybe 15%. That's amazing. You want to grow by 100%, 2x, 3x, 5x, 10x. And that's when you get off the fence and you start living life, right?
I love it.
At the end of the day, sometimes you may never have the money, right? So you got to figure out ways to get it, right? And I always say to Madison and to my family, it's when they see a Ferrari, they say, oh, that's expensive, I can't afford it. And I say, you shouldn't speak like that, right? You say, oh, that's a Ferrari. How can we get that? Because then your mind switches. Rather than turning off that mechanism in your head saying, how can I get that, and use the imagination I have, you say, oh, that's too expensive, I'm just not going to do it. It doesn't make sense, right? Yeah. You just turn off your imagination tools and your power to be able to grow. And I think that's honestly, we wrote that with so many people, and I'm sure you have too, that are on the edge. And most of the time that are teetering, they're going to keep teetering forever.
Yeah. I hear people all the time. There's people even in my own family that say, like, must be nice, or we'll never be able to afford that. And I kid, and I was like, maybe you can't, maybe you won't, but if I want it, I'm getting it.
Yeah.
and I don't mean that in a condescending way.
Yeah.
But I want that light bulb to go off, and for them to realize that, like, that is a very poor way of thinking. Yeah, like literally.
Yes, literally.
It's a reflection of their own insecurities on you, right?
I'll tell you a funny story. So I'm working with Brandon Copeland from the New York Jets, and his brother is the manager of a lot of the projects and booking Brandon on different things and stuff. And he, Chad, his brother, told me an interesting story the other day. He said, you know, my brother came to me not too long ago and he was like, I want you to reach out to Spotify and I want you to figure out some sort of partnership or collaboration with them. And Chad right away was like, Brandon, you know, is that really our lane? Like, is that really something that we should be getting involved in? Like, how does that fit? And Brandon turned around to him and he said, you may have limits on your life and things that you want to do, but don't put those limits on me.
Wow.
And Chad was like, okay. And guess what? He reached out to Spotify. And that was a real powerful story that Chad told me, and I'll probably never forget it. And I feel like there's a lot of folks out there that try to put limits on other people because they don't want to see them grow. They don't want to see them expand because of, like you said, the insecurities. And so great point. Great point. So I only got one more question for you guys, and then we'll get into sort of showcasing the brand and what we actually developed together. So bring yourselves back 60 days or so when you guys first committed to the Brand Accelerator program, right? What was the one thing, or a few things, if you will, that made you choose myself and my team compared to all the other brand agencies out there?
Stands out to you?
Well, first things first, like ease of communication, like number one, like that's just ease of communication, right? That's so important. And no question was a dumb question, right? Like the thing is, this is our process too. You've gone through it 1,000 times. We've gone through it once with our business. Now we're going through it again. So we have a lot of questions that may be mundane or asked over and over again, just so we can understand it. I think like that's what made us choose you. In my sense, like it's just like I want to be able to go with somebody that this is like I'm in grade 1 right now, and you're the teacher. Okay, you're in grade 2 now, grade 3. You're guiding us, and then we're evolving, right? And now we're graduating and evolving our brand. We're graduating, and we're getting our diploma, right? And it was just easy because you're answering each question along the way, right? I have questions. If you're going to be handling everything, I have questions. When you answer the questions, it's not to put the squeeze on you like that. It's just to get an idea of things, and then boom, you're moving. And that's what it was, like ease of use, ease of communication, and you just made us feel part of the process.
Yeah. Always professional, always. That's huge. You need to be able to rely on someone, especially since this was a large upfront investment. You have to be able to rely on them. You have to trust the process, and it was extremely professional. Like the speed at which you guys worked was astounding. We would always try, we're like, we have to beat them. We have to beat them. Yeah. Like we were like, oh my God, he just said this back. And we're like, oh my God, we have to stay up late. We have to get this done. We were always trying to like one up your team's speed. Like it was crazy. Just always professional, always over delivering is huge. Like you gave us more than what we had thought. And I really enjoyed that, you know, we had our first consultation call, our first couple of consultation calls, and then you presented us with a nice like overview of here's our game plan. Like, here's the play we're going to run. And I was like, that is what we needed. Like, step by step, let's do it. It made the process seem real. It made the end goal seem attainable and near.
Yeah.
And just the overall experience, the energy.
Yeah.
It was all fabulous.
On that note, you just brought up an idea in my head. So when we started our business, we've had to go through so many changes, like our gym, right? So Madison's the owner of the gym, right? And we've gone through so many changes, right, to get to where we wanted to be. But if we just went and did this process that you've taken us through, we wouldn't have had to go through all these changes. We would have been where we needed to be from the get-go. We wouldn't have had to waste the time. We would have had wasting money, energy, tears, all that fun stuff. We would have just gotten there. Obviously, all these things are a part of the process, but sometimes as business owners, like a smart man or woman learns from their mistakes. But a wise woman or man learns from somebody else's.
Yeah.
We have to make changes. It's ready to go.
Yeah.
I love it. I love it. I love it. Well said, guys. And I feel the same back. Honest to God, I mean, the energy you brought to all the calls, you guys were one of the few that ran through the discovery and strategy faster than anybody that I've ever worked with. And I've done the discovery dozens and dozens of times, and just how prepared you guys were. It was like, what I saw was two individuals that were super hungry for finding a process to take everything that was in their head and make it real, but learning how to do that through a system versus trying to piecemeal it over the course of a year or two.
Yeah.
And we were able to do it in literally just under 60 days.
Yeah.
So that's powerful, so awesome stuff, guys. So why don't we show some of the folks what we developed once we went through the discovery? Yeah. So once we get through the discovery and we really start to understand who our customer is, we define our brand attributes, and we really start to understand our customer better than they really understand themselves. We then went into the Stylescape process. And this is the final Stylescape that we approved. There was we came up with 3 different concepts. We presented, we tore apart them all, and with Ryan and Madison's help, we were able to pinpoint and finalize. So this, with a collaborative effort from my team and them, we were able to come up with a really awesome direction for the look and feel of the brand, which consisted of their typography, their color scheme, their logo, which I'm going to show you in a second. So that is right here. So once we got that developed, we were able to put it into application and show Ryan and Madison exactly how potentially the logo could be used. So we used large format, we used apparel, especially from a fitness brand, giving them some ideas on what to do with the aesthetics once we got them designed, putting it on a Bosu ball, like outside of the facility, perhaps you have this flag, right? Looking at it from a substrate perspective, you see here the embossment, just trying to give them different ideas on how to use the logo design and spark that creativity. So that was the logo that we designed. And then we had some really cool mock-ups for social media identity. So we went and we made sure that all of their social media identity across all the platforms, whether they were on some of the platforms or not, we wanted to make sure that when they do get on that platform, that everything stays consistent. So like, this is an example of how we branded them on mobile for YouTube. And then if we want to go to Twitter, here's how we mocked up the cover and identity for their homepage on desktop. And we did that on all the platforms. So that was Twitter. Then we go to Facebook. We wanted to show what it would look like on mobile. So we presented all of this. And then once we got the approval from Madison and Ryan, we just sent them all the files, and boom, they uploaded them all within minutes. And then from there, we were able to dive deep into their funnel. So this funnel here is actually built inside of ClickFunnels. And my team and I, based on the feedback that we got from the discovery, we were able to have my copywriter create some amazing copy for the page, which then inspired my design team to design a really awesome funnel. So we were able to incorporate testimonial and really Madison's story, and then a lot of video testimonial. Then we also created the strategy on how to connect with our audience on the front lines, for cold traffic, people that don't really know us. How can we over deliver up front and get them into our ecosystem. So we came up with this bundle approach where we were able to take a lot of their assets that they already had and create some really cool stuff. So they had all of these recipes and guides and all these things. And so I forgot that we even did that. So I want to show you some of the things that we rebranded. So we also created a brand guide, which is really important for any legitimate business. Is this is what keeps everything consistent. So now Fit Queen has a brand guide. So if they ever use another designer, or if they ever use somebody to develop any sort of brand identity for them, they have all the typesets, they have the color schemes, and they better obey by this guide. Otherwise, the project isn't going to get approved. So we redesigned a whole bunch of really cool assets that they had that I thought just came out incredible. So this is just one of the 5 that we redid. So we wanted to make sure that if we were ever to sell this individually, that we could put a premium price on it, because not only is the value amazing, but just the quality of it is just going to radiate the worth. So we made sure that everything was done to the nines to make sure that it truly represented the value that Fit Queen gives to their audience. So I'm really proud of this work. I'm honest to God, just really, really excited to have you guys launch this week and just have you start changing people's lives on a whole nother level. So we were able to finish up this funnel rather quickly, and then we're running ads already, and it's just been absolutely an amazing journey. We have one last thing to do, and that's actually the website. So we'll definitely keep you guys up to speed on what that looks like. Our team is just about finishing up the design of the site, and that'll be launching in the next week or so. So really, really excited there. But guys, gotta say thank you so much for doing this video for me, because my goal here is to really help people scale their expertise and level up their standards. I feel like if there's nobody in your life that's pushing you and guiding you and helping you level up, it's really easy to stay comfortable and safe. Yeah. And I feel like you guys really embraced that push and took it there and met me at that next level, and look how you've benefited from it. So I can say it until I'm purple, how cool the program is and this and that. But when the community sees it and my audience sees it from you guys, it's a whole different story. So I just want to say thanks again. This is a Saturday afternoon, you guys taking time out of your day to do this. So awesome stuff. Thank you.
And we appreciate everything you've done for us too. This was an exceptional experience, and we've taken so much away from it, and it's just going to make us better business people, just better people growing in itself. Like, very exciting. Really loved it. Loved your team. Loved you. Very excited. Yeah. So excited.
Yeah, we're launching. We're waiting on ads to fire, so we're so excited and waiting for people to come on into our process.
That's awesome, man. Well, I'm proud of you guys, and like I said, watching my students graduate is one of those feelings that you can't explain, really, but in words. But I could just see it on your faces that you guys are going to do amazing things. And I'm super proud of you guys.